In 1882, the famous philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche pronounced that God is dead. Nietzsche believed that the age of Enlightenment had eliminated the possibility of the existence of God, with discoveries in science and philosophy supposedly delegitimizing belief. For example, science showed us that we had no reason to believe in mythological creatures, delegitimizing any religious story that involved such being. In the early 2000s, new atheism came to power, with thinkers such as Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens and Daniel Dennett publicly criticizing religion, superstition and quote-unquote irrationalism. All four of these men have been inspired by the Enlightenment, but have extended their thinking to disregard God and belief in its entirety. These ideas are also prevalent in other contemporary thinkers such as Neil deGrasse Tyson and Stephen Fry. This cultural movement gripped millions of followers through the media as these thinkers began to dominate public intellectual discourse. However, in 2022, there seems to be a resurgence of religious and spiritual guided thinkers such as Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro and Sadhguru, who have been able to rebut some of the claims held by the new atheists. Instead, these figures have climbed to popularity, recognizing God, creation, and the divine in their works. This video will aim to evaluate the intellectual history of the early 21st century and potentially decipher whether we are experiencing a renaissance in 2022. All videos on this channel are researched by academic books and scholarly articles, and without further ado, you're watching All Things Humanities. The early 2000s saw the sharp rise of militant atheism by four key figures: Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris and Daniel Dennett. These four individuals featured in public intellectual debates across the world and were quite convincing with their arguments and reasons. For example, in Australia, Richard Dawkins featured on Australia's Q&A, where he aimed to debate Cardinal George Pell on scientific, religious and philosophical matters. These four intellectuals are known for being critical and negative towards religious belief, and in 2022, Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins seem to be the most active in the atheist movement. Dawkins and Harris suggest that religion is unnecessary and futile when it comes to explaining natural phenomena, and the universe would be better off without it. Only a few scholars and intellectuals could rebut the claims of the new atheists, figures such as William Lane Craig and Richard Swinburne. However, in recent years, there has been a shift in the popularity of intellectuals from the four horsemen of the non-apocalypse to figures like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro and Sadhguru. While figures like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris are still quite popular in contemporary discourse, religious-inspired thinkers like Peterson and Sadhguru have exploded in popularity and gained millions of followers in the process. This is worth noting because the militant atheist schools are in great contradiction to the religious-inspired thinkers. They do not recognize the divine or transcendental in their understandings of nature and the universe. Additionally, the scientific discoveries professed in the fields of biology and physics have been taken on board by these religious-inspired schools and have used them to strengthen their arguments. For example, Peterson's knowledge of the psychological sciences has encouraged him to believe that optimal psychological health is directly correlated to living a life according to Christian ethical teaching. For example, in both the Old and New Testament, lying is discouraged and is an act of sin. Peterson has numerous examples of the side effects of telling lies and its negative impacts on individuals. It is arguments like this that have given some sort of legitimacy and authenticity to religious belief. This is the same with Sadhguru, a yogi and mystic who has recognized the divinity of truth. Here's a clip of Sadhguru talking about this exact topic.
It is time, one thing that you do, one thing that everybody who considers themselves some kind of sadhaka or a seeker, one thing that you must do to yourself is, you are absolutely truthful to yourself. If you're also truthful to everybody around you, you will get other kinds of benefits with people. But I will not go that far right now. With yourself, you are 100% truthful. Otherwise, all kinds of tricks keep happening. To be truthful to yourself is not a easy thing, because there is lifetimes of habit of simply bullshitting yourself. And of course, you've gone through much religious training, many of you.
These religious-inspired thinkers have absorbed the findings of the natural sciences and all argue that there is a purpose to the structure and order of science. While Peterson, Sadhguru and Ben Shapiro all align to different belief systems, they all agree on the inherent structure of nature and that the universe is ordered. These ideas seem to stem from the famous Greek philosopher Aristotle, who recognized the telos, or purpose, of man and nature. While religious demographics have definitely shown growth in non-belief and secularism, these thinkers are rising in prominence. Does this potentially mean that we could see growth in religious belief? Now, growth in religious belief is not limited to one particular religion, but instead religious belief per se, which recognizes the divine and the purpose of nature and the universe. What do you guys think? Are we in some sort of intellectual renaissance? Is religious belief being reformed and being brought back to life? Let me know in the comment sections below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to press the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot.